Hello YouTube, in this tutorial we are going to go through steps that we've done in the last tutorial just to briefly remind ourselves, and then we will go to creation of actual post and fixing our Django administration and creation of HTML pages. So really briefly, when you create your project, go to, in this case to do, go to settings file and add that project here. And you are done with settings.py. Next thing, go to your sub-application, create templates folder. In that folder, create index.html or any other HTML file you need. But this is the simplest possible scenario, so index.html will get the job done. The next thing, go to views file. In that file, when you open it, you will see this line. So what you need to add here is function that will be activated through route. The task of this function is to return rendered index.html. So based on that specific request that will be defined in URLs file, you will return specific HTML page. Reason we have dictionary here is to it will be easier for us to pull things from database, giving them some specific handle on the left side for key, and on the right side there will be actual data. So next thing, go and create URLs, empty URLs file in your sub application. That will be empty file. Okay, then go to your general Django project, to same URL file, grab everything from here, copy that to local file, and then you can remove this line, okay, but you can also leave it if you like. Then create here, add this line from .import views, because you are telling Django here that in URLs file you will import those functions. You will not import them directly, you will just like put them on standby when you need it, basically, but they will be there. So that's the simplest possible explanation. After that, you will define path. The path when user with their browsers access your root of your website, something will be activated. And that what will be activated is function from views file. See, views file dot specific function that is defined in that views file. Now, this here name index is handle that will be used all over the place in templates. The handle for this function. Why we need a handle? Because it is easier to work into templates. You don't need to change all over the place functions. You can just change and reallocate them into one URLs file. So handles will be relatively static, and if you need, over time you can mishmash those functions, you can interconnect them, you can change them, you can delete them and create specific paths and so on. So that's pretty much it about recollecting what we have done in the last tutorial, which was around 18 minutes or something. So right now what we need to do is we will go to this file, model.py, and we will start creating our posts. Basically we are modeling here our database. So let's go. Okay, now we need to structure our database. How to do that? Let me just delete this comment, I don't like it. And first thing first, we will use object-oriented approach here, but if you don't have a lot of experience, that's completely fine, because everything will be pretty much self-explanatory. Let me just type the code. So class, what will be the name of the class? The name will be posts. Why? Because when you have to-do application or something similar, you wanna have basically title and actual content, which will be text, and probably, like in my case, you wanna have some kind of date time information to know when you have entered that entry. So that will be named posts. It can be something else, but a lot of people use posts here, and that's self-explanatory. After that, we need to state that we are going to use already present established models. What that means? That means, let me just type that. That means that we are going to use. How to explain this? If you have ever done something into MySQL, you know that when you're creating columns, you need to specify type of data. Like, is it one character? Is it variable character? Is it big text? Does it have? Is it primary key? Is it auto incrementing and so on? So that's pretty much it what we are doing here. So the next thing is, let's define title for our post. So title, that's generic, and now we are going to use those already established present models. So this is like column, the type of data in MySQL, and there is a lot of things that are Django specific here, but they're still similar to MySQL. So this will be character field, and maximum length of that we will set to be 200. Max length will be 200. Okay, and don't put dot after this line or comma, just go to next line. So we have defined how our title will look like, basically. The next thing, we need to have some kind of content. I mean, useful to do, what we're gonna do to that specific day. I mean, entry, details on entries. So that will be just text, a lot of text, okay? Now, again, we need to put models here. And what column will that be? How it look like? That will just be text field. Django specific stuff. Text field, and you can, for simplicity reasons, just continue to next line. Okay. Now there is couple of things also that need to be done when you're working with complicated CMSs, but this is just simple to do. So let's just understand things, and then over time we can improve it either in this playlist or another playlist. So next thing, we need the data when we have that entry. So when we have created that entry, how we will get that? We will call models, and from models we'll grab date, time field, and we need the default. So the moment when we press enter or submit button, we need to grab that default minutes and seconds and hours. So default equals date time now. Now this also means that we need to include this date time module, and that's pretty much easy thing to do in Python. From date time import date time. So let's save our models, and you will probably say, well, we will see this in control panel, and let's see, do we actually see it there, and if we don't, what we need to do. So I will kill this server. Why? Because we need to apply migrations. See, something will happen in this folder. So every time when you create changes, you need to apply migrations. So Python manage py make migrations. Okay, so migrations for to do. Okay, initial 001. There we go. Create model post. So we have created model post into SQLite, right? You can also click on this file and see what's in it, but you know what is important here is just to go to process. After this, we cannot just start our server again and go to administrative panel. We need to apply migrations. So we have make them here, so we now need to apply them. How to do that? It's really easy. Just say Python manage, and you already know this, migrate. Migrate, enter, and it seems that everything is fine. So we have applied those migrations, everything is fine, and that's it. Now every time when you apply migrations, you will see their lists here, and that's very, very cool stuff, because you basically can track what you have done. Now, yeah, what I need to do now? Yeah, let's go to control panel, but first we need to start our server. So Python manage run server, and I think that everything will be fine. Okay, so everything is fine, no errors, performing system checks, zero silence, nice. So when I refresh, everything will be same, that's cool, HTML works. Let's go to admin section, extra secure password, admin, and our Django administration works, but you don't see those posts. And this is the thing, every time when you do migrations, when you change something in your database, when you add, for example, new posts, new sections, you need to state that manually. Now, where to state that manually? Okay, here's the thing. Go to your editor. Where is it? Just for a second. See here, admin.py. Go there and see this line, register your models here. So every time when you change them, or basically when you create them, you must state that here if you want to see it into Django administration. So what you need to type is first from dot models import posts. So that's what you need to do. Okay, here and down there you need to say exactly this. To administrative panel side, you need to register something, and that something will be posts. Okay, so I will save, and let's go to our control panel to see what's up. See, there we go. So you don't need to apply some migrations here. You don't need to migrate. It's already basically done because our system was working fine. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So next thing, because we don't have index.html form to enter our post, we will use this Django administration to enter a couple of posts just to see if everything is fine. So we will click on posts and add posts, and see we have our title up to 200 characters, we have text, some big content for example, and we have default data time. So test entry or something like that, who cares, and some content, and I don't need to mess around with dates, it's already done. And when you press save, there you go. Now you will see here the name, which is posts object 1, but when you click on it you will see the title is different. So the task in the next tutorial will be to fix this listing to show you the title. And if you see here we have posts and 2s, so we also need to fix that. But I definitely think that there is a time for rest ourselves, and I need to shut up and render. And thank you for watching, for subscription, and see you next tutorial. I really think that when you have done this, you know, models, everything else will be easy. And I promise through a couple of hours of practicing you will be pro in Django. Anyway, I definitely need to shut up and see you next tutorial.